You're really good at what you do. If you're watching this, you're an amazing coach, consultant, or expert who has years of experience and you know you can help anyone with anything, and you have the tools that literally transform lives. And those lives turn around and change the world. And the world really needs those tools right now. Yet, so many of us are still playing small and struggling to even pay ourselves. So if you're sick of trying to sell $100 per hour packages, or you're spending all of your time tinkering on some passion project or book that is hardly making minimum wage for you, then I'm going to show you how you can reposition yourself, not just for the new paradigm, but also to be getting high ticket clients fast. Especially if you have a small audience or your existing audience is starting to feel like it's just full of your high school friends and family and people who already know your whole song and dance. Because I'm Hannah, I'm the CEO of Dream Life Consulting, and I've scaled to 7 figures with a high ticket coaching business that teaches consultants and experts and thought leaders how to get their high ticket offers out into the world to people who need them as well. So if you're loving learning from these videos and you want even more insights on how to brand and market and sell your services online, then go ahead and hit subscribe, because it's just feedback that helps me create more of these videos. I look to produce something every single week that gives you real business advice and tangible action that you can be implementing immediately. And that's exactly what this video is going to do. But if you want to get notified about future videos, go ahead and hit subscribe, because today I'm going to take you into a Google Doc so that you can copy, paste, screenshot, and take these lessons and go get high ticket clients fast. Now, the selfish reason why I record these videos and share everything with you is because this girl needed them. This is me being the low ticket coach with all of my cute laptop lifestyle, dream life is real life branded items, but still struggling. I was a low ticket coach too, and the reason why I can share all of this is because of my lived experience being in the coaching industry for nearly 9 years and feeling like I burnt out in every direction. But let me zero in on 2023. Not that long ago, I was in the same exact boat that you're probably in, because I was looking on YouTube and racking my brain for how to get high ticket clients fast, because I had been struggling to get clients. I was second guessing everything. I felt like I had tried all of the marketing guru advice, and I really started doubting myself because of how hard it felt to just get in front of people and help them. I spent my days just asking myself, is it my messaging? Do I need to change my offer? Should I lower my prices again? Maybe I should host a challenge or a webinar or make a quiz funnel. Maybe I just need to sell harder and sell my soul online to just convince people to get in here and pay me a few bucks. But I knew I wasn't the only one struggling with this. I had been in masterminds and other speaking boot camps and sales trainings and all of these things that I had invested in. And I looked around and I saw all of my peers still struggling to really crack this consistent client acquisition thing. So I've seen this play out, right? Nick, someone who we worked with that was trying to coach unemployed women into their dream jobs. But in hindsight, I realized that the problem Nick was facing is that these women literally didn't have money. She was selling to broke people. So every sales call ended with the same objection for her. I just can't afford it. I need a job first. And then there's Lindsay, who was doing one-on-one health coaching for college athletes. Awesome niche. I wish I had her when I was in college, except they don't have money. When you're in college, all of your money is going to tuition and books and food. So their schools weren't footing the bill either, and she was starting to wonder if this was going to be a viable business or not, because same thing, no one had the money to pay her. And then there's Nikki, who just kept attracting people with so much personal crisis. Like, she was a trauma and life coach, but she just literally had to refer them to a hotline instead of enrolling them. They weren't even in a position where she could make an offer to them. So it's like these wonderful people with wonderful missions and skills that people really need, but they just weren't getting paid for it. They couldn't get the money out of the offer. So if this sounds familiar, you are in the right place. Because when I was in that position of just hearing objections and not getting people to pay me my worth, I wanted to stop playing small. Of course, you ask people, do you want to grow? And it's like, yes, but how? I didn't know how to play big. So, what I did, and what you can be doing as well, so I started talking. I just started getting my butt in the seat and opening my ears because I had an idea, if Hannah has these problems, other people probably do as well. But I was so in my own head trying to figure this all out on my own. I needed to get out of my head and into the world. So I got my butt in the seat and I talked to like hundreds of coaches, consultants, thought leaders, healers, just to see if they were experiencing the same client acquisition frustrations. And they were. We were very similar. So along that way of having these, stop and chats with coaches and consultants, I found another consultant who felt the same way that I did. And we started putting our heads together and trying to get to the bottom of things. And so after nearly 14 months of research and testing and market research, I realized that the price tag has nothing to do with you or your credentials or how good you are at coaching or how many degrees and PhDs you have or even how much you've invested in training. I know people out here are like, you can't charge 10K until you invest 10K. But I realized all of that was fake news. And a lot of the time, it's not even the offer. It's not even the package or the thing that you're trying to sell. It's simply how and who you are talking to. So simply, this means two things. Number one, if you're still struggling to get clients, you're not showing up where the right people are. Number two, you're not translating your message into the right language, the language that high ticket clients need to understand before writing a check. Look, when we're talking about selling transformation or high ticket coaching, it is not the same marketing advice as selling a physical product or a $99 course. And so we also know that it's not for every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the internet. So we need to first position you where the right people are who appreciate and need and see the value in high ticket coaching. But then we also need to speak their language. And so many of us who are great at what we do are speaking a very different language than our potential clients are. So on the copywriting side of things that I do, I literally think of myself as a translator, taking your expert speak into messaging that the mass markets and the right people will buy from. So that's what we're going to get into today. And I understand that you want to work with the people who need it most, right? You want to help everyone. You wish that you could save the world. But let's be honest. The best way to help people and change the world is by not burning out. You can't do anything if you're just stressed and broke. I know. I've tried. I've been there. I've had nothing. So we need you to make sure that you're positioned to help people who love you and can actually afford your services. So your life and your DMs start looking like this. You're able to sign 2 clients in 2 days. You're able to charge 3K and have more people lining up because you knew how to share it. You learned how to translate it. And you're able to do that in every aspect of your business, right? So here's Sonia talking about our manifesto call, where we helped her really unpack her messaging so that she knows what to do. And knowing what to do next, isn't that actually the dream? Like clarity and forward motion? So we're going to get you there today because I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about repositioning your personal brand so that you can start attracting high ticket customers who get it, who are ready to go and respect and love you fast. So the first thing we're going to do is position your socials, even if you have an intangible offer. Okay, so this is not about some social media strategy or hacking the algorithm, but it is about developing your online presence, right? I think about social media kind of like your business card in today's day and age. So you can think about your social media as your landing pages. You don't need a fancy website because people are already looking for you on platforms like LinkedIn or Instagram. So the goal here is really just to show that you're not just a coach with a program trying to sell people stuff, but instead you are a genuine expert with a proven solution. It doesn't need to be your Instagram. It doesn't need to be your website. Again, like I said, those things are fine, but they're not really where we're seeing conversions happen in 2025. LinkedIn is the fastest and easiest and cheapest place to do this. It gives you so much real estate. You can literally have a sales page in your about section. You can literally have the title of your book that you want to write, like as your header, without having to write the book. So I will warn you up front that repositioning is way less about looking pretty and more about differentiating yourself. So this isn't just about cute Canva cover photos or a new photo shoot. No. I'm talking about rebranding in a way that repositions you as something different. Because you want to show that you're not just another coach, right? That they can compare to other coaches. We have to do this differently than the others are doing it so that you can stand out. So for one of our clients in Finland, Tara, she cleaned up her position, added that new about section to her LinkedIn, and actually got so overwhelmed by the number of inbound CEOs that she told my business partner on this call that she couldn't even keep up with all of the inbound requests she was getting just from LinkedIn. She didn't make a post. She didn't send a bunch of messages. She wasn't paying $20,000 to some website SEO thing. She literally just went in, updated her LinkedIn profile account for free in a day, and the doors were open for these really high-level CEOs. And yeah, she had over 10 bookings in a week, and she's telling us, I'm overwhelmed, which is a good problem. It's a much better problem than wondering, where are my people? Where is my next dollar coming from? Because that interest does turn into high ticket clients. So remember Sonia, she was celebrating just having clarity on her messaging, and then she turns around and gets her first high ticket client for the year after they reached out to her through LinkedIn and just having an easy yes convo. So more sales calls are being booked. And the reason why this works is people don't hire coaches for information. They can Google and use AI to learn stuff like how to lose weight or how to track their macros or how to put together a resume. They can find online how to breathe to handle stress. In fact, it's probably popping up in their feed all of the time if they're thinking about that kind of thing. And they know what to write on a resume to get promoted. These are things that they can find online. Coaches need to stop thinking like they're producing a service or that they have some information that people need. But rather, coaches need to be thinking about the results, the end goal, that thing that actually changes people's lives. And it's not a weight loss macro counter, it's not a resume rewrite, and it's not even an hour on Zoom. Because for the personalized support and accountability that actually moves people from where they are to their dream outcome, you need to be talking about results. This is going to be the way you differentiate yourself from so many other coaches who are afraid to do this. And if you are afraid to talk about results, then you're in the right place, because I'm going to show you how to make it stupid, simple, and easy on yourself. We just need to design your profile in a way that shows your expertise, packages up your genius, and talks all about the results you get for people. Now, the challenge here is that I understand coaching transformations don't always look neat and linear. Coaching tells us that people have the answers within themselves. We're not supposed to force them to some outcome. They should be kind of self-guided in a coaching journey. So then what we do as coaches and experts and thought leaders is we go out and try to sell things like joy and well-being or personal development, but it's not easy for those people online to, again, understand what you mean, to translate it into what their day-to-day life actually looks like and what they actually will pay for. Now, I understand the immediate challenge here for you is probably thinking about your coaching transformation and the work that you do with people not being neat and linear. People probably have lots of destinations and outcomes and things that they achieve in the work that you do together. Not everyone has the same dream outcome. Because the problem with being an expert in things like joy and well-being or mental health or personal development is that it's not always easy to make tangible. Now, if it were easy to sell and explain, I just think coaching is the most priceless thing in the world. So if it were easy to market, everyone would get it. Everyone would be selling it. We'd all be billionaires in this industry, and we wouldn't still be watching these videos about how to get our message out there. Because you as the expert and me as the consumer of coaching that has changed my life, we know the power of the process. But to a potential client who hasn't been on our healing journey or gone through the same trainings that we have, it sounds very vague and fluffy, especially on LinkedIn. To the point where I literally see coaches doing stuff like this, positioning themselves as definitely not three raccoons in a trench coat. Because we think if we're cute and we're funny and we just catch an eyeball, that will differentiate ourselves. But I think you can see that just being cute or confusing is not the kind of differentiator that we want. So I see this all the time, right? Coaches putting things out there like, I'm a sparkle coach, or I help you unlock your full potential, or I help you do magical weight loss without giving up hamburgers. Okay, all of that is cute, but what does it even mean? You know, the same thing is if you go the dry route and you just check the boxes LinkedIn gives you and you end up saying that your specialties are sex and intimacy, couples and individual counseling, like that doesn't mean anything. That just looks like it's about you when people find you on LinkedIn. So positioning is really the main problem with coaches and why they're not getting as many clients online. So this is why we need to take your offer and the magic in your brain and translate it, position it on your profile in a way that feels crystal clear and tangible to people who are scrolling and confused by these things, but have other ideas of what they would pay for already in their head. Because when you meet them where they're at and you position yourself as the coach who solves specific, painful problems that I'm thinking about today, and then you lead people to specific measurable outcomes, the things that they can actually look at and say, this person changed my life. These are like measurable differences thanks to working with this person. This means that your socials and your online presence doesn't just act like a resume or some CV again, that's all about you, but it actually starts attracting high ticket clients. And these are the kinds of messages that I get just from working this process on my LinkedIn. Hey, I finished watching your video. I found it on LinkedIn. As a lifelong marketing guy, your messaging resonated with me. I especially liked hearing about your evergreen manifesto to educate and shift people's beliefs, yada, yada, yada. Okay, he actually was learning from me. He wasn't just scrolling past my page and being like, okay, it's a cute blonde, whatever. Okay, it's a raccoon in a trench coat, don't get it. I not only stopped the scroll, but I started impacting his psychology and getting into his beliefs and making him think about some of the things that are packaged in our offer. So as a side note, these kind of inbound messages are what we are used to on the daily. I have a whole video linked below that shows you exactly how the full system works. Like after you reposition yourself, how we're able to combine these positioning assets with another system that gets you 300 to 900 new eyeballs, new targeted audience members every single week without spending a dime on ads or having to host events. So you can check out that CEO walkthrough below if you really want to see how we convert on these repositioning assets, because it's not technically the focus of our video today, but I do want to bring it up because it would be the next step for you. It brings this all together. And this is exactly how our clients are booking 20 calls per month with high ticket leads in their target market. So again, you can see the link below, but let's keep going on what you're going to do after you start to position yourself like the expert and you upgrade your social media profiles to not be about you and your resume, but rather about what you do for people. Okay, so the next thing that's like the icing on the cake, I would say step one is the cake, and now step two is the icing, and then at the end, we're gonna put a cherry on top. And the more you add to your cake, the more appealing and delicious it's going to be for you long term. But I do wanna iterate that content is not essential for our system. Nothing that we do here is making me a slave to the algorithm or forcing me to document my life. But there are a few strategic pinned posts that have helped make sales easier for us online. And this is really where the rubber meets the road, because now that you're repositioned online, it's time to control the narrative so you can start speaking to the right people. And again, moving them into that know, love, and trust place that we know they need to be to pay high ticket. So again, this is not about going viral or being a slave to the algorithm or getting a gazillion likes just so you feel good about yourself. This is about showing, not just telling, that you're the obvious choice within your field or within your industry. This is about setting yourself apart from everyone else who says they can guarantee results or help you unleash more joy in your life. So I do this by creating a intentional strategy, right? This isn't just guessing, let's just post some random things and see what happens, but this is about really thinking critically about how you want to show up online. And so this is where I want to teach you the value formula. And this is the reason our coaches all charge more than 3,000 US dollars. It's because we run them all through this value formula, which quickly shows up in the minds of their customers. Because when you know your value, it's much easier to have other people appreciate it. So here's the value formula. It is clear plain plus clear positioning plus educational proof that creates premium pricing. High ticket pricing, getting you out of hourly, getting you out of even competing on how much you cost. So most coaches, as you've heard, are pretty vague and soft and even do weird, sparkly, confidence-y headline types of things. They talk about transformation and confidence, which is cool, but that's only going to get you low ticket interest. High ticket buyers pay high ticket prices to solve specific, urgent, and painful problems. Now, if you're watching this video and you're like, I want to sell confidence, then go make a $99 a month membership and find another online voice that will help you, get a bunch of volume and try to get this to the masses. But I'm talking to those of you who want to have high ticket clients, the ones who not just pay you a lot, but respect you a lot and stay long term and have a high lifetime value so you aren't always playing the volume game. So I understand why most coaches like me miss this at first. Remember, when I was just trying to do the laptop lifestyle thing, I was thinking I could have an online course and a mastermind and an app and a Pinterest thing and like all these different little low ticket things. So then when you have all of these ideas rolling around in your head, then you only post when you feel like you have something to share. Or, you'll be inspired to go promote something, but then if no one bites right away, you'll go dim your light because you're humble and you don't want to be too much and you shouldn't keep selling and promoting the next thing and the next thing. Or then you only just write stuff or you only just share like personal soft things that, again, it all sounds nice, but we're playing this softball influencer low ticket course creator game that doesn't move anyone to drop 3K on your coaching and also does not get you to 7 figures. It keeps you stuck like I was for several years. So here's the psychology. Psychology tells us that buyers pay premium prices when they see that you understand their specific pain and you have a clear path for their specific outcome. The point here is that people will literally buy what you show them, meaning that if you post it, they will believe it's true, even more so than how active you are or how many posts that you have, or even if you have a bunch of other influencers talking about you. This is from a recent study that says people still gravitate towards people, even in the software buying landscape. Buyers still make decisions based on the experiences of other people. So the good news is you don't need one-on-one hand-holding to convince people that you're good at what you do. You don't need to give away a bunch of free coaching or discovery sessions. You also definitely don't need a big launch and a bunch of hullabaloo or, again, all of these coffee chats just to prove that you can help people. You simply need a few strategic messages that do the selling for you so that you can continue to make sales and not feel glued to your laptop or always wondering what's the next thing, what's the next thing, what's the next thing. So the 3 posts that you can focus on, I call cornerstone posts. And I've separated them into 3 major categories. Number 1, success. Show that you are the authority in this space. So this is a flex without, obviously saying I'm the best in the world, right? But this is some proof that you've made it. Maybe this is you speaking on a stage. Maybe this is your own personal before and after picture. Maybe this is you in front of your team showing that you actually do run successful companies. And then scenes. Scenes is about kind of behind the scenes, the thought leadership stuff, how you think about work. So this is like your stake in the ground, your unique value proposition or take. This could also be like myth busting, what you think differently about in your industry than most people, something that differentiates you, and make it feel like it's behind the scenes, right? People don't want some canned AI looking, okay, this is super manufactured so that she can show us. No, like make it behind the scenes. Don't overthink this. Maybe you even think of like a day in the life, because so many of us are living the lives that other people dream of and we forget that. And then the third one is social proof. So this is obvious evidence that you get results or some sort of like community engagement. So this could be screenshots of testimonials from your clients, or you leading a group through something, or you being given an award, something that again positions you as the expert. And if you just take a day, right? Don't rush this. Don't try to do this all right now. Like take a day and really think, what would prove that I'm an authority? What can show my success more than tell? Then what behind the scenes is really going to resonate with them and help them see that I have the life that they want, or I have the solution that they want, and it's simple. And then social proof, this is one we're going to get into a little bit next, but this is looking at your own results, the screenshots and your warm, fuzzy files, or the things that you've been able to help other people achieve. So each of these have a different execution, right? You're going to make this look different if it's on Instagram and you're pinning these posts, or if you're reworking your LinkedIn section. There's obviously different practices for each format. I don't want to get into that too much here, but because you're smart, because there's other videos on how to, post on social media. But what I can tell you is that the impact that it makes. So if you follow this, like our client Manu, he here had 3 new clients just by posting the right things. So even just one of these cornerstone posts, a single post on LinkedIn, got him 3 clients because he followed our system and he was attracting the right audience. So Manu never had more than like 30 likes on something, and here he is with 500 likes, a bunch of comments. This is not ads. We weren't trying to hack the algorithm, but we know human psychology. When they see these types of posts, they respond. It gets them to respect you, not just think you're cute and okay, good for Manu, but actually buy. Client number 3, just by following the cornerstone post process. So now let's get to the cherry on top, which is around testimonials and reviews and case studies. Again, showing people the results, because you can tell people that you're great all day, but it definitely sounds different when it comes from past clients. And again, they can see what it is that you do, especially if you do intangible things like leadership coaching. So the truth is, if you're just getting started, like our client Larry here, it doesn't even need to be from past clients. So many of the people that we work with as coaches have a past career in education or corporate, or they've helped people for free even before they were learning how to package and sell their coaching. So here's what Larry was able to get for his LinkedIn when he was starting out working with us. And these are really amazing testimonials, right? Real life results. Talking about Larry, a chance to talk to Larry isn't something anyone should give up. These are the kinds of things that if I look at your LinkedIn profile and I'm already intrigued by your about section and how you've positioned yourself, and then I'm kind of interested in what you're saying in your cornerstone posts, if I keep scrolling and I see people like Trisha talking about working with Larry and how impressed she was with him and her experience as a person in education working with him, then authority soars. So Larry could go out and say he's the best leadership coach and here's the 3 things about him. But now that we're getting reviews, you're even more interested in knowing who Larry is. I don't think you know him, but you kind of want to know him now and talk to him, right? He seems more human and more personable, which again is super important for human psychology and sales. And this is because testimonials, case studies, and client reviews are basically free marketing assets that never stop working for you. I love the evergreen nature of everything that I'm teaching you here. This isn't like you have to be doing this constantly or, again, launching and getting in front of a bunch of new people. It's just about polishing the real estate that you have, and reviews are a huge part of that. So to get these reviews, here's a super simple process I follow. Number 1, send a quick personalized message. Nothing stiff or overly formal. Don't overthink this. Be a human. Just to keep it warm and natural. This way, it's more about asking for help, not about begging for validation, right? Hey, can you do me a quick favor? Perfect. Then be specific. Step number 2, ask something like, hey, they would be amazing if you could touch on these points. Give them a framework. Give them these 3 bullet points to respond to. So they're not just saying, Hannah has cool earrings and I like her yellow dress. Okay, I actually want them to talk about those real life results, right? So give them this framework. What was life like before we worked together? What specific breakthrough or result did you have? And how do things look different for you now? And if people just respond to that, you're going to have a banging testimonial that shows people the results. Again, even if they weren't paying clients, you can think of folks that you've helped in some capacity and they will be happy. Humans love helping, humans love giving their opinion. And even if you have an awkward niche, these are the types of questions that people can answer in a way that feels good to them. So you should screenshot this part so you can go start asking for reviews and testimonials now. And if you want to do extra credit, ask for them to post it as a LinkedIn recommendation or make a short selfie video. Again, if you have an awkward niche of people who are not willing to put their name or their face out there publicly, then have them send this to you in a text or an email so that you can screenshot it and blur out the names, because this carries a huge weight and it's so authentic if you do it in this way. So now let's put them to work. So where you're going to put these is obviously, if someone else posts us as a LinkedIn review, that is done for you. But if you get things like emails or a video interview, then I want you to get these testimonials out of your warm fuzzy folder where you just keep them for yourself, but start promoting them. So you can add them as featured posts on your LinkedIn profile, like I've done here with some of our testimonials. You can use those screenshots and some of those cornerstone posts, right? So some success or some behind the scenes, or even some of that social proof, right? Screenshots will be really helpful. And then we also use them as sales assets. So this is something, again, that I go through in the longer form video. It's 50 minutes that shows you the full system, linked below. But obviously these screenshots are going to be multi-purpose across your sales strategy. They're great to have, and you can definitely be repurposing them everywhere. So for me, I just keep collecting this. It's become a regular habit. I've talked about this in other videos about how testimonials are just kind of part of our process now. So I'm able to just keep adding these to my LinkedIn section. You can click through. I have lots of testimonials. I'm always adding to it, but I know what you're thinking. And I'm already trying to hint to you that even if you don't have a 7-figure business and dozens of clients at one time like we do, and you're thinking to yourself, I don't have any clients, Hannah. I haven't helped anyone. I'm still struggling to even get paid for this. I don't have anyone's life to transform. That's simply not true. Hear me out. Many of our clients come to us straight out of certification. They just got some coaching piece of paperwork. They don't have any testimonials, no audience, no previous results, but they always have an amazing story to tell because they have lived it. And even still, I use my own story and pictures from 8 years ago to show you my own transformation. Yes, I can now use Sonia and Ricky and Tamika, but this all started with my own story. And it's so powerful to use your own story as a testimonial to create story-driven messaging. We know the human brain loves stories. And again, if you are the person to tell them, they resonate more so than hearing it from some third party. So leveraging the psychology-backed frameworks that I teach you and focusing on results-oriented packaging is the way that you get started. We all start somewhere. So keep using the advice that I give in this video and just make your cornerstone posts about you and your story. And think about your reviews coming from peers or people that you've helped in other capacities because you've been building the skills in other places. So Lancey, for example, had 0 clients when she started working with us, but she still closed her first high-ticket client within 90 days, all by putting her story out there, right? First paying client, sharing her story really shined the light for people to get it, feeling super excited. Okay, now she can go get more testimonials. This is just about foot in the door. Again, we all start somewhere because now Lancey continues to build her offer from the ground up. Even beyond the program, she's really showing up like a business and building a company. And these are the things you have to think about. You have to get out of your little coaching bubble, making it all about you, and start thinking about, well, how is this company going to run? And your story is the beginning step to building something that is bigger than you. So the testimonials are really just evergreen education. Remember, that was part of the value formula. And we're building something around formulas and around value so that this can be sustainable for you and not just run on your energy forever and ever. And are you going to post another cute thing tomorrow that they like? So these testimonials and these cornerstone posts that we're talking about today are evergreen, meaning you don't need to be talking to everyone one-on-one on coffee chats. You can literally let your LinkedIn profile attract people who want to talk to you about working together, not picking your brain. This also means you don't have to be convincing people or handling objections on gross sales calls. This isn't about smoke and mirrors. Let's just talk about it and see if I can pitch you. This is about putting that value out in front so people are already coming to you, respecting you like the leader Lancey is now feeling like. You also obviously don't need to figure out crazy tech or be running webinars. Just let the LinkedIn infrastructure or your social media landing page help you position yourself in front of new people every single day without some live event. You also won't have to be traveling for speaking events or showing up live with a bunch of makeup on just to get people to respect you. This is just about repositioning yourself in a whole new way. So now you have the framework. It's really just 3 steps that you can be implementing this week. And you don't have to wait for another client or another sign from the universe to raise your prices. I know this because this is how I grew a 7-figure business and help all of these clients do the same. So as I mentioned, if you want to see, okay, how do I take this repositioning work and now turn it into a client acquisition system, click the link below so you can see how we're converting 3 to 10 new clients from this framework every single month. And you might see some of my other videos. Again, as I mentioned, go ahead and subscribe because we're going to help you build something bigger than you by getting sustainable clients acquired online without ads, without the marketing hustle that they're burning us all out with on here. So, cheers to growth. I look forward to your feedback in the comments, and I'll see you next week.